Welcome to the Stock Workout, where we flex on the market to make gains. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Ocugen, ticker symbol OCGN. This stock has been huge in the last few days. It is making big movements. If you haven't seen already in my previous videos, I did point out a double bottom. I pointed out the resistance level at $7.22. We completely blew past that. Then I did point out the next resistance level was going to be at $10.71, and we completely blew past that too. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the charts. I'm going to be going over the Zacks ranking for this stock, just for your information. Really, Zacks is a really good tool to be using. They're a really good analyst website and tool to use, really. Then we're going to take a look into the 100 million direct offering that Ocugen has offered on Friday. More brilliant news there. We're going to be taking a look at a bit of short interest as well that Ocugen has. Now, this could potentially set up for a nice short squeeze for this stock too. And then we're going to finish off with the Indian COVID cases that have been rising rapidly and have been putting a huge strain on the healthcare in India. Now, before I start, I do want to say that I offer my condolences to anybody that has lost anyone during this pandemic, any family or friends that have been affected by COVID-19. I want to offer my condolences to you. So now we'll make a head start into this, but if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel, because I do put out technical analysis on different stock. If you've got any others that you want me to cover, drop it in the comments down below. I did call Ocugen a few days ago when the charts were looking really good and the technical setup was good. I did call it, and we have been making big movements. So taking a look at the Zacks ranking, Zacks have ranked this at a 3, which is a hold. Now, this is actually really good. They've given it a C for value, A for growth, and B for momentum. Now, that gives it an average score of B. Now, what is a hold? So in the short term, next 1 to 3 months, the Zacks ranking, number 1 is a strong buy, number 2 is a buy, and number 3 is a hold. Annualized return is 10.72% for a hold, but with the catalyst that this stock has for it, you know, you're going to see way more than 10.2%. And its value is at C, and it's A for growth. So this is a very rapidly growing stock, and the momentum it has behind it is a B. Gives it an overall VGM of B, which is good. That's what we want to see, and this is one that I would definitely keep my eye on. Now, moving on from there, we can see that Ocugen announced 100 million registered direct offering of common stock priced at a premium to market. Now, that is brilliant. The main thing we want to see here is that it is priced at a premium to market. What does that mean? That means that institutional investors are interested and they believe in the growth of the company, because they are paying a premium to what the stock price was. So that shows that if Ocugen have priced it at a premium as well, it shows that they believe within themselves. And if the institutional investors buy the stock at a premium, it shows that they also believe in the growth and the prospects for this company. So as you can see here, it says that this was on the 23rd, which was the Friday. They announced that it entered into a definitive agreement with healthcare focused institutional investors for the sale of an aggregate of 10 million shares of its common stock at a purchase price of $10 per share in a registered direct offering. The offering is expected to close on or about 27th of April, subject to the satisfaction of customary closing conditions. H.C. Wainwright is acting as the exclusive placement agent for the offering. The gross proceeds of the offering are expected to be approximately $100 million, prior to deducting placement agent fees and other offering expenses payable by Ocugen. Ocugen intends to use the net proceeds from the offering for general corporate purposes, capital expenditures, working capital, and general and administrative expenses. Now, $100 million in Ocugen pocket will give them a huge lump sum of cash for them to expand, market, get their product that's partnered with Bharat Biotech, get it into the US market. $100 million is a huge sum of money for this company. Now, one thing to also take note of is the fact that this direct offering does not dilute current shareholders, which is another good thing we want to see. Ocugen are taking care of its current shareholders and are also pricing the stock to a premium in this direct offering. So the direct offering doesn't dilute current shareholders. It gives the company extra cash to use for their operations, which is brilliant because that's what we want to see from a growing company. Now, one thing to bear in mind, and this is just for comparison purposes, the last time they did do a direct offering, they raised around $24 million and the share price jumped to $18 per share. So this time we're seeing $100 million share offering. Where and how high do you think this price will go? That's some food for thought right now. 24 million last time and the price jumped to $18. Now it's $100 million, more than 4 times larger share offering they're doing. So really, I believe this stock is going to the moon. All good things there. I'll leave the link to this article in the description below for those of you that do want to read up on it. Now, moving on from this, if we take a look at the short interest, so I've pulled up Finviz here. This is Finviz, and the point that I want to show you is the short float for Ocugen. So as you can see here, OCGN, the short float's coming in at 15% almost. Now that is quite high. That is quite high. It's not as high as some of the other shorts that were being done specifically with GameStop and AMC, but even for a biotech, 15% short float is quite high. Now that could potentially set up for a really nice short squeeze. The reason being is Ocugen has so many catalysts coming through at the minute, with their vaccine potentially being given EUA in the US. As we know, Ocugen have an agreement with Bharat Biotech. Ocugen, the agreement states that Ocugen get 45% of the proceeds from the vaccine sales within the US. So, and the fact that the vaccine is effective against the double mutated strain that's prevalent in India at the minute, this is really significant for this vaccine, because if that shows that it can protect against that double mutation, a lot of countries may want to pick up this vaccine. So couple that with the 100 million direct offering that gives Ocugen a lot of cash to carry on expanding its business operations. They have got quite a few catalysts yet to come through as well. So almost 15% short float. You know, these shorts and these bears, they're going to get absolutely squeezed because the catalysts are going to push the price higher, and then the bears will be scrambling, and this is going to short squeeze. So that's one thing that I did want to point out. Short float nearly at 15%. That's something to also keep an eye out on to see if it increases or decreases, but that's looking good. Could potentially set up for a nice short squeeze here. Now, if I move on to this news article here, this gives a bit more context to the company and the vaccine and how significant it is, because this is not just a COVID vaccine like any others that have been produced. It is actually pretty significant. The reason being is Bharat Biotech is based in India. Ocugen has partnered with Bharat Biotech to get their vaccine into the USA. Now, India has recorded 349,691 new infections in another daily global record. So this is a daily global record. That is how fast COVID-19 is spreading in India currently. And this news is on Sunday, the 25th of April. So a doctor in Delhi says every hospital is running out of oxygen as frantic efforts are made to improve supply in the capital. So India is in a dire state at the moment with COVID-19. So further down it says here, India has set a new global record for daily coronavirus infections for the 4th day in a row. Its health ministry reported 349,691 cases on Sunday, bringing the total to just under 17 million cases. That's second only to the US. So why is this relevant? It is relevant because Bharat Biotech is based in India. Bharat Biotech have also priced their vaccine for India and for governments and for private companies. But with the double mutated strain in India, that's currently at around 50% prevalence of all cases in India, and it has also spread to many other countries. And because of the phase 3 trials that Bharat Biotech have done, they have shown that it's effective against this double mutated strain. So a lot of other countries would be interested in buying this vaccine, and especially in the US as well, where the US government would want to protect this population against this double mutated strain, along with many other countries too. So when they buy this vaccine of Bharat Biotech and Ocugen will be pocketing 45%. So from a financial perspective, that is going to be a lot of revenue for Ocugen. But I do want to offer my condolences to anyone who has been affected by this. This is very sad news. And I just hope everyone is okay and staying safe. Now, this is an article on India Today, and it says Bharat Biotech Serum Institute announced vaccine prices ahead of May the 1st. So it says here, Bharat Biotech and the Serum Institute of India have announced price of their COVID-19 vaccines after the government opened up inoculation to all citizens above 18 years of age starting May the 1st. So Covaxin, the COVID-19 vaccine developed by Bharat Biotech, will be available at a price of 600 Indian rupees per dose for state governments and 1200 Indian rupees for private hospitals. The Serum Institute has fixed Covishield's price at 400 rupees for state governments and 600 rupees for private hospitals. So that is more news that's come out for this vaccine. They've already set prices for state governments and for private hospitals. And another side note, for those of you that don't know, the Serum Institute of India is actually the largest vaccine, and they have the largest capacity to produce vaccines in the whole world. So, if they're partnering with them, that is also big news. I know Novavax has also partnered with the Serum Institute of India to produce their billion doses too. But there you have it. Bharat Biotech have already priced their vaccine. Now, if we take a look at the charts, what are the charts saying? So on Friday, we saw that huge run up, came up to $13, around $13.50, 60, before we had a little bit of a sell-off, maybe attributed to that direct offering. However, it is nothing to worry about. In the after hours, we did then end up over my last resistance point that I pointed out at $10.71. We did finish above that. This is showing $10.97. that we finished up on. So that is great to see that we finished over that resistance level. Now I would like to see the stock price hold that resistance level, and I don't want to see it dip below that. The next support level, so I want to see that $10.71 resistance, previous resistance, turned into a new support, seeing as we've closed above that. After that, the next immediate support level would be at this $9.18 range, where we did bounce off. We bounced off this and then went all the way back up to around $11 again. So first support level is $10.71 and the next is $9.18. After that, we do have quite a large gap all the way down to $7.22. But as I said, this sell-off that happened in the latter half of Friday is nothing to worry about. So if I draw this fib retracement, you can see from this fib retracement that the price retraced down to around this 50% retracement level. Now that is pretty healthy because the run up was absolutely huge, and we were bound to see this retrace at some point. So when we saw it retrace, it held this 50% level pretty well. You do see a few wicks dip below it, but the body is above this 50% Fibonacci retracement level. And then from there on out, the price increased in the after hours to above the 38% Fibonacci retracement. So this is healthy. This is healthy. We saw the price run up, we saw it retrace, we saw it bounce off this 50% retracement, and now it is back on the upswing again. So that was the Fibonacci retracement. We held that 50%. That's one great thing. Another few things I'll point out. I've got the 21-day EMA on the screen along with the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages. I've got the volume and the RSI on the screen too. So first and foremost, the 21-day EMA completely smashed through and completely crossed the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages. That is completely bullish, that indicator right there. The 21-day EMA is this white line, and the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages are these three lines below it. So that is great. With the sell-off that happened on Friday in the second half of the day, you could see it on the RSI. RSI was quite overbought at around 83, and then as the price came down, the RSI came down too. So they are both perfectly aligned. Also, one thing to be aware of: volume, absolutely huge. Absolutely huge, more than 5 times the average 10-day volume. So volume was at 504 million, and the average volume in the last 10 days is only at 99 million. That is absolutely huge. That huge volume is reflective because you can see the price get absolutely pushed up. You can see these huge green candles here that is all buying. So I would consider that another bullish indicator. To see 5 times the volume, 5 times the volume on a day compared to the last 10 days, that is completely bullish in my opinion. Couple that with the 21-day EMA crossing over the 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages, we have seen a healthy retracement. That healthy retracement provided a perfect buy the dip opportunity. I don't think you could get a better buy the dip opportunity in one day. With the 100 million direct offering too, it's pretty much picture perfect on the charts. The next thing I do want to point out is a few profit taking levels and the next resistance level. So I've given you these 3 support levels right here, and what is the next resistance level? So I'll just draw that on the chart. Now, the next immediate resistance level that I've identified on this chart is going to be this $14.05 mark. Now, previously here on the 3rd of March, that is where we got rejected from. We did run up to $13.60, around $13.60 on the Friday, the 23rd, before we saw a breakdown of the price. However, this $14.05 is where we have previously been unable to break through. So that is the next resistance level that I do want to see the share price surpass. So there's your resistance level. Now, if I now draw a Fibonacci extension, just to give a few profit taking levels. So I've drawn the Fibonacci extension on the chart. What I will do is I will get rid of these previous levels of support and resistance just to clear things up a little bit, make it clearer. But I will keep this $14.05 resistance because that is what I've identified previously on the graph. And also I'll explain in a second why this Fibonacci extension quite perfectly aligns up with this. It comes in quite close. So on the Fibonacci extension, the 23% extension comes in at $11.15. In the after hours, we finished up at $10.97, so we are pretty much there. That would be the first profit taking level. However, I am not looking to take any profits at that level. The next one above that is the 38%, which comes in at $12.37. The 50% extension comes in at $13.35, and the 61.8% extension, which is the golden level, comes in at $14.34. So on the charts, the previous resistance we were unable to break through was this $14.05, and the 61% Fibonacci extension, so for the profit taking level, is at $14.34. So both of them do line up quite closely, and this is what you call confluence, when you use two different technical analyses to check the price point or check support or profit level, just to confirm that, because there's many different tools you can use. So I would be looking for this 61.8% Fibonacci extension at $14 to $14.34. That would be my target. That would be my target to take some profits. What now, for people that want to hold, you can continue holding, of course. If you do see the price get rejected from that range, you may want to take some profits off the table just to secure them, and then you can buy back in at a lower price. For those that want to hold, of course, by all means keep on holding. I do believe that this stock will surpass that, but this is the immediate profit levels and resistance level that I am looking at. You could, of course, take some profits, buy back in at a lower price, and then wait for the next run up too, or you could just hold on to this for as long as you wish. But just to give you a general picture, that is what the resistance level is looking at. Around this $14 to $14.34 is the next resistance. So we are looking to break through that and then carry on setting higher highs. And previously as well, just to point out, we have been setting consecutive higher lows, which indicates that the overall trend has changed, and now we are in an uptrend. And obviously on the charts, as we've already seen, we are. So there you have it. You have your support levels, you have your resistance levels. We've used a few different tools to check this, and I am totally pumped on this stock. I think it has so many good catalysts coming for it that it will completely surpass this $14 mark, and I do believe it will go much higher. For those of you looking to swing trade this, you want to look and see if that price gets rejected, so you can take some profits off the table and enter in at a lower point. For those of you that want to hold, you can continue holding by all means. Another option is to hold a portion of your shares and then take profits on the other half as well. There's many different ways to do this, but your resistance level comes in at around this $14 range, and the support levels, first support was at $10.71, so we do want to see the price hold above that. So there you have it for this video. If you appreciate that, subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like because it does help. Turn on the notification bell so you can see the updates I put out on these stocks, because using technical analysis is a great way to trade. You won't be trading blindly. You know what the price actions will be, what the support and resistant levels are. So if you are in the profit and you see the stock hit a resistance level and get rejected, you will be more aware of it and take your profits off the table, because the worst thing that can happen is to see your stock go from a profit to a loss. That is the worst thing that can happen. So do your own due diligence, invest wisely. I wish you all the best. This stock is totally great. That's it for this video. Everybody stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.